Hi everyone, my name is Iwana, and in this presentation, I'd like to share my experience and insight from my SDG project. The big question I explored was, can derivative be used as a tool to create positive change? For my focus, I chose SDG 2 Zero Hunger, which aim to end hunger, achieve food security, and promote sustainable agriculture by 2030. At first, I thought derivatives were only complicated financial products used by big traders on Wall Street. But throughout this project, I discovered that derivatives can actually play a surprising role in fighting hunger and improving resilience in agriculture. Let me walk you through my journey. I chose SDG 2 because hunger remains one of the most urgent global issues today. According to the United Nations, over 735 million people face hunger in 2022. Despite progress, climate change, conflict, and food price volatility make it hard for communities to break the cycle of food insecurity. This goal resonated with me because food is not just a basic need, it's the foundation for health, education, and economic development. Without food security, it's almost impossible to achieve other SDG. I wanted to see whether financial tools like derivatives could help address this challenge in a practical way. The main problem I identified is volatility, both in food prices and weather condition. Farmers, especially small scale farmers, face enormous risks. If there's a drought, their harvest shrink. If global food prices suddenly fall, they lose income. And if prices rise too sharply, poorer consumers cannot afford to buy food. So this cycle creates instability not only for individuals farmers but also for government trying to manage food supply and demand. In other words, hunger is not only about producing enough food but also about managing risk and ensuring the stability. This is where derivatives come in. I focus on commodity futures and weather derivatives as tools to stabilize food security. First, commodity futures. These allow farmers to lock in a price for their crops before the harvest. For example, a farmer growing wheat could sell a futures contract today at $200 per ton. Even if the market price drops to $150 when the harvest comes, the farmer still gets $200. This protects income and reduces uncertainty. Second, weather derivatives. These are financial contracts linked to weather outcomes such as rainfall or temperature. For example, a farmer could buy a weather derivative that pays out if rainfall is below a certain level. It acts like insurance, compensating them for losses when extreme weather hits. Together, this instrument can reduce income volatility, improve planning, and build resilience in agricultural communities. They can also help government manage food supply more effectively, preventing extreme price swings in staple foods. I found some interesting evidence while researching. For example, the Food and Agricultural Organization has studied how government can use commodity derivatives as price insurance to reduce food price volatility. Energy companies have also used weather derivatives to hedge against temperature changes, showing that the concept is feasible in real markets. Some pilot programs in sub Saharan Africa have also experimented with weather index insurance for farmers. What struck me most is that derivatives are not just abstract financial tools. When designed with purpose, they can become lifeline for vulnerable population. They transform unpredictable risks into manageable outcomes. This project changed how I think about finance. Before this, I saw derivatives mainly as risky tools for speculation. But I've learned they can also be powerful instruments for social good when applied carefully. They can bridge the gap between financial markets and sustainable development. I also realized that implementing this solution is not easy. Many small farmers lack access to financial markets or not fully understand these instruments. And the important is that education, government support, and proper regulation. These are crucial to make sure derivatives empower people rather than expose them to new risks. Me personally, this project taught me to see finance not just as numbers, but also as contracts, but as something that can impact real human lives. That's a valuable insight I have carried with me beyond this course. In conclusion, I believe derivatives can indeed be used as a tool for positive change. They can help farmers stabilize their income, protect communities from hunger, and build resilience against climate change and price shocks. And of course, there are limitations and challenges, but with the right support, derivatives can be part of the solution to achieve the zero hunger by 2030.